Hi, my name is Gillian Machado. I'm a senior at West Broward High School, and you're about to watch my documentary entitled Growing Up in Germany During World War II. I hope you enjoy it.
Shortcuts. Documentary.
My name is Vera Knigge, and I was born in the year of 1935 in Bremen, Germany. It was just before the war broke out, and the first few years, not in my memory, but the first thing that I do remember is the nights of the air raids and how we had to get up every night out of bed into the basement and hearing the bombs fall around us. One night in particular, we were hit not directly on our house, but across the street. The whole road was wiped out and it was on fire. So my mom had bundled us up. We sat on the front porch while we watched our mother and the neighbors with pails of water trying to help putting out the fires. It was a time of uncertainty, and you never knew what was going to happen the next day or whether you were going to be around the next day. Our only security was our mother, and of course she was frightened too. During that time we still had to attend school, even though there were daily raids going on, but every time the alarm would go off when we were in school, they would let all the children out because they didn't want the responsibility for them. So we started running down the road, and the fighter planes were coming down, shooting at us. I don't know, whether they were British, American, whatever, but they did not mean to hurt us. They just were having a little fun and all that. So they were just shooting. We didn't know that. We were just screaming, and we were told to lay flat in the ditch, which we did. They came so close you could actually see the person in the plane. At that time, they started with the air raids only at night and the alarms. But I was so little, and when I was outside during the days playing in the sandbox, I was still screaming that I wanted them to stop. And so the doctor convinced my mother that we had to move out of the city and go to the countryside, where at that time it was not being attacked. When I was in school, I moved 14 times during the first 4 years, so we never were anywhere at home anymore. When we lived in Delmenhorst at the barracks, we had neighbors that we didn't know very well, but it was, barracks, so there was one next to the other. And they were also, the walls were thin, you could hear through them. And the cars, like I explained before, Hitler sent the cars around to see that you didn't listen to the wrong stations. And if a neighbor didn't like you and accused you of something, they didn't check out whether it was true or not. They just came and took you away. And some of our neighbors were taken away. We didn't know why. We don't know who reported them, and we didn't know where they went. Later on, after the war was over, after everything was settled, and the Americans came in, and they found out about the concentration camps that existed, in which they not only had Jewish people, but also Germans that didn't agree with Hitler's strategies and with Hitler's opinion and said the wrong thing. There was no freedom of speech like we have here. You had to have the typical greeting of Heil Hitler, and if you didn't do that to anybody, then you didn't respect Hitler and you were taken away. We were very close with my grandmother and my grandfather on my mother's side because we lived together in one house. It was a pretty good sized big house, and we lived as a family. But even during the war, when they had to evacuate and go to France, we followed. The war, there was no way to buy stuff. We were given tickets, forms to buy. You could only buy one pair of shoes per year for each person. But I was still in the growing stages, and so was my sister, and one pair of shoes a year just didn't make it. We ran out of room, so there was one time where my mother, my sister, and I all had one pair of shoes together. And I was invited to a birthday party in the afternoon. And when my mother said, "Oh, I have a party to go to tonight, you have to be home by 6 o'clock because I need the shoes." Okay, I said, I'll make it, whatever I have to do. So I went to the party, we had a good time. Then came the time to cut the cake, and the hostess says, "Okay, everybody in for the cake and stuff." And I said, "I gotta go home now." And she says, "How can you go home just before the cake?" And I said, "Oh, I have to go home now because my mother needs the shoes." So anyway, that became a big joke in the village because everybody heard about it. And it was a fun story. When we lived in near Hanover in Elenhagen, where we built after the war, it came to a time where it was my mother's birthday, and my brother was just 2 or 3 years old, no older than that, and he was not allowed to go any further than the next door neighbor. Our next door neighbor was a shoemaker, so he says, "I got to get her a present. I don't know what to do." He took his little piggy bank, he walked over to the shoemaker, he said, "You have anything for this?" Showed him what he had and coins. And the shoemaker showed him the shoelaces. He says, "Anything like this will work?" He says, "Oh yeah, I take the black ones." And he took them home, and he was so proud of himself and gave them to my mother at the birthday party. Sometimes I get flashbacks, and the worst thing actually is the alarms. The sirens going off. We don't have anything like it in this country that has the same sound, but when they have a movie on, a World War II movie, I cannot watch it. I cannot. The first siren I hear, I go into a panic. So I always have to turn that on. If there's nothing else that you can take away from this story, it would be the fact that people are people, and everyone has responsibilities. They all have to love each other, and it really doesn't matter what color, what creed you are, as long as you want to work for it, you deserve what you work for, and you should respect and love each other.